Shea Ralph is taking the Vandy Commodores into South Carolina to Columbia to face Don Staley and the South Carolina Gamecocks. This is a game to watch. It really is. On Sunday, this game is going to be one of the most important games that are going to be played. And let me tell you something. It is looking amazing. South Carolina, hey, they have lost to Texas. It was in a tournament game, so it didn't count towards conference standings. But then they lost just recently in overtime to Oklahoma, 94-82. They're worn out, but it's still a Don Staley team. This had to have been one emotionally draining game. But Don Staley's not going to let her team sit there and worry about those things. She's going to get them in fighting order. Vandy, who has not been beaten by anybody this season, they just handled Auburn 81-53. They got a good win against Michigan 72-69. They handled Mississippi State, Texas A&M, Mizzou. They beat LSU by 4. Arkansas 88-71. This is a team that may not have played that many ranked teams, but they have been on a roll. But at the same time, you've got to look at it's rare for a team to go undefeated. Shea Ralph, Don Staley, two amazing coaches. Shea Ralph, this is her first coaching job, and she is 91-59 as a head coach. Has made it to the NCAAs twice, gone to the third round of the WNIT. Don Staley, I'm going to keep saying it every time I talk about this woman, the Pathead Summit of this generation. She's Dawn Staley. She is an institution. Forget Pat. I'm not going to forget Pathead Summit ever. I'm a 50-year-old Tennessee man. Pathead Summit is the greatest coach, in my opinion, of basketball. But Dawn Staley has won conference titles in two conferences, both the Atlantic 10 and the Southeastern Conference, has made it to the Sweet 16, the Elite 8, the Final Four, and won a national title multiple times. She's got, one, two, three, ha ha ha, three national championships. She was the runner-up last year. She's made it to the Sweet 16 multiple times. What she has done for South Carolina, she has basically become an institution. Shea Ralph is getting there. I'm looking at these two teams. Conference championships of Don Staley. Shea Ralph is the new up-and-comer that is looking dominant this season. She's got a team that you should be paying attention to. Them and Tennessee are the only two that are on top of the SEC when it comes to women's basketball. I'm looking at this game, and I got to cover it. Now, I'm covering it by the numbers. I'm not using emotions. I'm looking at what you have to look at by the numbers. So let's get into this game. Before we get into the crux of this video, hit like, hit subscribe if you like college sports, because I do college sports, primarily college football, college women's gymnastics. Do a little basketball and other sports on occasion, but that's what I do, college. Also, General Robert Neyland, former University of Tennessee head football coach for decades, had 7 maxims to win any game, but they can also help you if you apply them correctly to your life. The second one is play for and make the breaks. When one comes your way, score.
that is a maxim that can be also applied to your life. Look for those breaks and take it.
Now, Vandy's visiting, which is a big deal. 85.9 points a game. They're allowing 58 points a game. 48% field goal percentage. Good numbers. 38.5 rebounds. 20.8 assists. So this is a team that's doing good when it comes to teamwork. 4.6 blocks. A little low compared to some teams, but it's still a good number compared to what I'm seeing from a lot of teams. 12.6 steals. That's good numbers. Now, Michaela Blake's leading in scoring, leading in steals, guard, 24.8 points a game, 3.7 rebounds a game, 4.5 assists a game, 3.2 steals a game, zero point 0.3 blocks, 2.5 turnovers, little high, 45.6 field goal percentage, 83.2 free throw percentage, and 31.1 3-point percentage. The only weakness I'm seeing here is the 3-point percentage. Little low, but not that massively so. Justine Passat is at 11.7 points a game. Now, see, that's a little bit of a weakness there. When you have one player scoring that much and then it drops off to as low as that, a little bit of a problem. 4.6 rebounds, 2.9 assists, 0.5 steals, 0.8 blocks, 1.3 turnovers, not bad, 44.4 field goal percentage, 70% free throw percentage, and 43.9 3-point percentage. Aubrey Galvin, who leads in assists, 11.7 points a game, 3.3 rebounds, 6.5 assists, 3.1 steals, 0.1 blocks, 2.5 turnovers, a little high there, 39.9 field goal percentage, 78.9 free throw percentage, 32.7 3-point percentage. Sasha Washington, who leads in rebounds. Now, also, by the way, Ayanna Mitchell leads in blocks with 1.2, but Sasha Mitchell, fourth leading scorer, 10 points a game, 8 rebounds, 1.6 assists a game, 1.3 steals, 0.9 blocks, 1.4 turnovers, good numbers, 59.1 field goal percentage, really good number there. 37 or 67.3 free throw percentage, but she's not hitting anything from the 3-point line or beyond. Now, you've got a couple players that are getting overworked this season. Michaela Blake is sitting at 654 minutes this season on the court, 32.7 minutes per game. Aubrey Galvin is sitting there at 666 minutes. She's averaging 33.3 minutes a game. They're wearing these players out. Justine Passat's at 567 minutes with 28.4 minutes a game. Not bad. But they've also got Trinity Wilson sitting at 17 minutes, Monique Williams 44, and Aaliyah Del Rosaria is sitting at 82 minutes. You're wearing out certain players. They got really good field goal percentage though. 47.7% from the field, really good number. 73.9 free throw percentage, could be a little bit better, but it's still not bad at all. 36.7 3-point percentage. Hey, just a tad over 1 out of every 3 of their shots on the past the 3-point arc, they're getting in. They're wearing down a couple of their players though, with a few others not doing too much more past that, or not getting that much more rest past that. When you've got bench players who aren't getting the time, they're rebounding, not bad at all. Assist, not bad at all. Aubrey Galvin doing what she needs to do. You're having to rely on one player for your points. If she gets hurt, you're hurting. If somebody's able to keep her out of the game, you're hurting. This is a really good Vandy team. I'm showing you weaknesses. I am not denigrating this team. They're undefeated. They're an amazing team by all stretches of the imagination. Now, South Carolina Gamecocks, Dawn Staley, 88.3 points a game. That's a little bit better. 55.8 points allowed. That's a little bit better. 51% field goal percentage. That's better. 44.3 rebounds. That's a little bit better. They're a little worse in assists at 18. They're better at blocks, 6.4. And they're a little bit worse at steals, 10 steals a game. All really good numbers. South Carolina's got Joyce Edwards. She's sitting there at 20.2 points a game, 6.2 rebounds. She's leading in points, steals, 2.3 assists. She's a forward, 2.2 steals, 1.4 blocks, 2.9 turnovers. That's really high. 58.7 field goal percentage. That's amazing. 66.7 free throw percentage. It could be a little bit better. And 28.6 3-point percentage. That could be a little bit better. Tania Latson, who is second leading scorer, a little bit further behind, but compared to, say, Vandy and the difference in who's scoring, she's at 15.4 points a game, 3.2 rebounds, 3.8 assists, 1.8 steals, zero point 0.4 blocks, 1.7 turnovers. That's good. 49.2 free throw percentage. That's good. 80% free throw. Good. 38.3 3-point percentage. Could be a little bit better, but not bad. Medina Okot, who leads in rebounds and blocks, center, 14.1 points a game, 10.7 rebounds, 1.1 assists, 1.5 steals, 1.6 blocks, 2.4 turnovers, a little high there, 58% field goal percentage. That's really good numbers. 65%, 65.6% free throw percentage, and 33.3 3-point percentage. Both a little low, but not bad. Tessa Johnson is fourth leading scorer with 13.6 points a game, 3.7 rebounds, 2.7 assists, zero point 0.6 steals, zero point 0.3 blocks, 1.4 turnover, good number, 48.3 field goal percentage, real good number, 77.4% from the free throw line, 45.9 from the 3-point line. That's really good numbers. Now, Raven Johnson's also leading in assists with 5.2 a game. Okay, they've got 50.6 field goal percentage. That means just a hair over 50.6. They're just a hair over. One out of every two shots are going in. 69.3 field goal or free throw percentage. 36.4 3-point percentage. Okay, decent numbers considering what you're looking at with women's basketball. Now, Joyce Edwards is getting a little bit more time on the floor than she probably needs to. She's sitting at 30.6 minutes a game, 643 minutes so far this season on the court. Tania Latson's at 525, Tessa Johnson's at 577, Raven Johnson's at 598. You're looking at, 29.2 minutes a game for Tania Latson, 28.9 for Tessa Johnson, 28.5 for Raven Johnson, 24.1 for Medina Okot. But everybody but Alicia Turnabaz is getting time on the court. We're talking triple digit time on the court. Alicia Turnabaz getting 33 minutes so far, has gotten 33 minutes this season. So they're still balancing everybody out, other than that one player. So this is showing this is as rested of a team as you can get. They're balancing them out. If somebody's needing to get off the court, Don Staley's getting them off the court. Not having to rely on everybody all the time. Plus, they're not having to rely on one person for all their points. They've got multiple players, double digits, and it's not 11 points. You've got one at 20.2, 15.4, 14.1, 13.6, and then a 10.1. This is a balanced team in a lot of ways. This is a Don Staley team. Okay, I said I'm looking at this by the numbers. And I am. Don Staley, amazing coach. Shea Ralph is an amazing coach. Both of these teams are going to the NCAAs. It's already a guarantee both these teams are going to the NCAAs unless there's a complete total meltdown. And they ain't going to have it. That loss against Oklahoma, hey, it happens. Vandy, I have no problems with Vandy. I have a lot of respect for this Vandy Commodores team. Seeing somebody go undefeated, rarely do I see that happening in basketball, men's or women's. I am not having a problem with Vandy, but I'm looking at these two teams. Vandy is way too reliant on one player going up against Dawn Staley, the institution. I'm loving what I'm seeing with South Carolina Gamecocks. Yes, Oklahoma beat them in overtime. It happens. Texas beat them. It happens. That's why I'm saying there's no team that is ever going to be perfect. I'm thinking South Carolina is going to win this game. It's at home. This is Dawn Staley. This is a team that, even though they've got some players that's got a lot of time on the court, are still getting rested. They're not reliant on just one or two people. They've got several players that can score. You've got double machine in Medina Ocott, and her backup center, which I'm not seeing. I will say this much: I don't think they have a backup center for her, but they've got forwards that can probably do a pretty good job of it. I'm looking at this, and also Joyce Edwards can probably double in, but if she can't get hurt, I'm looking at these two teams and I'm going, it's impressive. Both teams impressive, but South Carolina's looking just a little bit more impressive, even though right now uh, Vandy's undefeated. Shea Ralph's good coach, but they're heading into South Carolina. Oh, South Carolina fans can get rabid, especially when it comes to basketball. They were an original ACC school that was mostly all about the basketball. Football, who cared? It was all about the basketball. And I really do think that Dawn Staley should have this one. Now, it could be that, something happens, but I don't see that being a problem. I don't. Uh, you get this happening, and both of these teams really good. Oklahoma just they got the field goal percentage, they got the 3-point percentage. They didn't win on the anything else, and they had more turnovers, but they had far more rebounds. Now that's a key for Vandy. They're going to have to get rebounds, but they haven't been doing it as much. That is where I'm seeing this. Rebounds are going to be key. Who can shoot is going to be key. So Vandy can do it. I am not against Vandy winning. I am not saying that Vandy can't win this game, but I'm just saying by the numbers, looking at these two teams, this is a Gamecocks kind of game. You tell me what you think, though. This has been Paul with Redneck Sports. Y'all have a good day now. Bye.
Hey, that's my video. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And comment. Don't forget that either. Hey, this has been Paul with
Artlist.io.
Redneck Thinker Media. I do sports, I do politics. Hit like, subscribe. And y'all, this has been Paul. Y'all have a good day now. Bye.